Back in here on GCR as we continue along on a Friday edition of the program. Well, there is still one more game to be played before we get to All-Star Weekend in the PLL, and the Whipsnakes. That was delayed. We'll be taking on the Denver Outlaws this weekend. But then a huge weekend coming up, 4th of July weekend. Annapolis is going to be a special place to be for all of it. And next Sunday is the PLL All-Star Game right here in our backyard at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. Our next guest is going to be a part of it. Man, he has been so special since he arrived with the Whipsnakes. He is Aidan Carroll, and he is with us now here on GCR. Aidan, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Hey, Glenn. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, dude. Aidan, I know you're not, originally from here. You're a Massachusetts guy, but you spent an awful lot of time in this area at Georgetown and now being a Whipsnake. I'm not even sure where you are at geographically, but to be able to be a part of the All-Star Game here in this area that you've come to know so well, I know that's got to be a really cool thing.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool experience. Last year it was in Kansas City, but it's cool to be in a hotbed of lacrosse. Actually, the last time I was in Annapolis, we lost in the quarterfinals at Georgetown. So hopefully we'll get some vengeance on that front.
I hadn't thought about that. Oh boy, yeah, right. You gotta create new memories. Gotta make wash that one
touchy
away.
Subject.
Wash that one away somehow. Aidan, how has it been? I know part of it is you're just a hell of a player, right? But it isn't supposed to be this easy to make the transition from college to the pros. You now, over the last couple of years, have made it seem seamless. What allowed it to be so easy for you to make this jump and be able to compete and dominate the way that you have against the best in the world?
Yeah, I think that coming into even a year before the PLL draft, I wasn't really sure what my draft prospects were. So coming in, I didn't have many expectations. I don't think there was many expectations for me. So the lack of expectation certainly made it a little bit easier. I know a lot of guys come in the league with a lot of hype, and they have to deal with that sort of microscope. So I think that, along with the leadership on our team, we have a number of veterans. I mean, Rob Pannell on the offensive end, but Tim Muller, Matt Dunn on the defensive end, along with many others, were so helpful in the process of just getting me squared away, getting all the younger guys squared away, and giving us confidence to operate as players, but also leaders on the team.
You mentioned Rob. He and I were talking about you earlier this year, and he was raving, said that you're going to be MVP of the league, that you're one of the best players in the world. Can you tell me about what that relationship has been like for you? You know, one of the icons of this sport, to be teammates with him, to have him have the faith in you that he has. What has that done for you as you've launched your own pro career?
Yeah, it's so cool. And on a day-to-day basis, I don't really think of it as me talking to Rob Pannell. It's just one of my teammates. But sometimes I'll check myself a bit, because I know that when I was younger, I was using Rob's app to get better at the attack position, and I was always watching his film. Went to his Final Four game at Gillette Stadium up in Foxborough. So playing with him has been really special, but also it's him being a veteran brings such a level of kind of, he has a little bit of urgency, knowing that his years are numbered, but he also brings a level of level-headedness to the team, especially on the offensive end. And I think that we kind of urgently need that. So it's been super helpful, and he obviously gives me a ton of confidence when he's complimenting me on my play style or whatever it is, pumping me up before the games.
That's cool, man. That's really cool. It's also cool, that you almost have to remind yourself, right, that's my buddy, but he's also Rob Pannell.
Yeah,
that is
exactly.
Really cool. Aidan Carroll is with us next Sunday, July 5th. PLL and WLL All-Star Games in Annapolis. Tickets available now. Aidan, I've been meaning to ask you, have you and Emmett done 23andMe or Ancestry or something to try to figure out, it's so random the way that it ends up working out. Have you attempted to dive in and be like, oh my gosh, we've got the same 17th cousin once removed somewhere?
We haven't. We're trying to start the rumor that we're long lost
I
brothers,
like that. That's
but
a good bit.
but no one's bid on it yet.
Oh man, we got to work on that. We got to. We're gonna. We if are you okay if we just start lying about it? Like if at some point.
Yes. Yeah.
All right,
That'd be awesome.
We'll do that moving forward. Aidan, you mentioned like urgency. It's interesting to me because obviously, as much success as you found, clearly last year was a little bit of a disappointment for the team. Coming into this year, how much of that did you feel from this group? That like that isn't going to be our story. You guys had a hell of a weekend in Baltimore. I know probably the worst time for a 2-week break that you could have imagined after that, but like how much of that urgency did you feel from this group to say that's not our standard, we need to be better than that coming into this year?
Yeah, I think that there's a huge sense for urgency coming into this year. Coming off of last year, I don't think we had a terrible year, but there is a lot left on the table. And like I mentioned, Rob, there's a number of other guys that their years are numbered, and just for a younger guy, and I'm sure that a few other guys are thinking the same way. We want to make those last few years special for those guys, and having that sense of urgency just in the back of your mind, but just coming into every game being really aggressive, really assertive, realizing that these seasons go quick. These games are really quick. Even offensively, the possessions are really quick. So having that sense of urgency and in practice, and then when you get to game day, the same sort of thing, it is huge and vital for our season.
It's wild because I look at your guys' roster and I just say like, they should just be killing everyone. And then part of that is I just forget that like, there's 8 teams. Most of the rosters are this loaded, right? Like that's just that there is no week where you're like, this is a team you should definitely go out and beat easily because there's just so much insane talent. But how much do you guys feel that like that when you look around at all of the pieces you have, you should be competing to win the championship this season?
Yeah, I think that if you look across the league, I mean, there's 19 players on game day, 8 teams, so every team is stacked.
Yep.
And when you think about professional sports, you don't necessarily think about practice and focus on the details and preparation. But that's kind of what this league has become. The margin of victory is always really close. So the teams that win and win consistently are the ones that can focus on that level of detail, and recognize situations really well. And I think that's kind of what we're realizing pretty quickly. I think that then in Long Island, we had a bit of a gut check, and it was because of that lack of attention to detail. So that's going to be kind of our MO moving forward. And I think we got away from it, but yeah.
We talk about the talent. Tell me about what Joey's brought. How he's assimilated into your group. We all know that the talent is unbelievable, but how quickly did you realize, this is just going to work just fine for us?
Yeah. I remember obviously watching him in college. My brother is playing at Georgetown, so they went up to the Dome this year, and I was like, this guy's absolutely killing it. And then I kind of took a deep breath when we drafted him, and I was thinking at least he's on our squad. But he's such a good all around player, and I know from experience that it takes a few games to get adjusted. Obviously, he got off to a really hot start at Ridley, but he's only going to get better and find kind of his niches on the field. Great vision, obviously, a great shooter, just kind of all around a really good player. So he's someone that can kind of melt any role that we need him to. But he's not only just a great player, great teammate, great guy to be around in the locker room.
You obviously, part of that is you end up moving to midfield, right? And I remember like talking about it with Rob, and he was like, "You have no idea how much this is going to do. Like, you have no clue how good this is going to be with Aidan." For guys that never are going to play this sport at a high level, is it as easy as maybe some might describe it to be? what is the adjustment like, and is it something that you're excited about? Like, can you walk me through just making a move like that as a pro?
Yeah, I think that especially so for lacrosse now, it's relatively positionless. So attack is generally behind the cage, but you're dodging from up top constantly.
Yeah.
But in the PLL, the shot clock's a little bit shorter, so you have to attack from up top as a midfielder, and you're dodging short sticks and sometimes long pulls. But from the midfield, you're not dodging against those long stick defensemen as frequently. So in my mind, it makes it a little bit easier on me. And then the second thing is you just have to get back in defense a little bit, so you get caught on defense when there's a turnover, a shot goes out of bounds. So being prepared for that is something that I've kind of take pride in. I used to play basketball, and I was always towards my junior and senior year of high school, I was more of a defensive threat than anything else. And that's I kind of take pride in my defense. Still not the best guy out there, but so being prepared for that a little bit more this season, so changing up my training a little bit to focus on that.
I wondered at all, and you tell me if I'm going the wrong way, but I wonder if it also helps with maybe playing some sixes. And of course, we all know there's this thing that's out there that's pretty significant. Everybody's watching the World Cup right now. We know what it would be to put on red, white, and blue here in a couple of years. Like, does it help at all with that and the thought of maybe playing some sixes at the highest level here in a couple of years?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think a little bit in terms of getting back on defense.
Yeah.
Is the biggest portion offensively, and sort of keeping up your cardio and that sort of thing. But offensively, I don't think we really know yet how the Sixers offense is going to play out, what format it's going to be. I'm sure it's probably going to be more similar to a box lacrosse indoor style offense than it is a field style offense. So I think the biggest similarity is being able to play both sides of the ball. We'll see. I haven't played a ton of sixes yet. Played a little bit in Japan, but outside of that, I haven't really played a ton. So we'll see how it translates.
Is it something that you're hoping to do? Is it something that you've been thinking about at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone who's 1, 2, 3, 4 years in is really thinking about it. Obviously, playing for your country, whether it be the world team or the Olympics, is kind of the highest honor in the sport. So I think everyone has that in the back of their mind.
I appreciate that, man. Aidan Carroll, again, this weekend, obviously the priority is the Outlaws, and then next weekend it's going to be an awesome celebration of lacrosse and our country, 4th of July weekend in Annapolis for the PLL and WL All-Star Games next Sunday at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. It's going to be an amazing weekend. Aidan, where can everybody be giving you a follow on social media? Where are you at? You're not like on Twitter, really, are you?
No Twitter. I'm just on Instagram at Aidan Carroll 2.
Aidan Carroll 2. Give him a follow there. Dude, it's an awesome, like watching you play, it's just incredible. Really a special thing. Appreciate you taking the time for us, man. Best of luck, and looking forward to seeing you in Annapolis. All right.
Thanks a lot, Glenn. Thanks for having me on.